The Arrows Podcast is brought to you by Triumph Protective Coatings, which is a flooring company specializing in concrete polish, epoxy flooring systems, micro cement, and self leveling concrete. They speak Spanish and they offer awesome customer service. And you could reach them on Instagram, Triumph underscore coatings, looking them up on Facebook, Triumph Protective Coatings. You can email them, triumphprotectivecoatings at gmail.com. You can call them or text them at 666-436-4702. And if you use promo code ARROWSUP, you get 15% off on your next flooring project. So reach out to them and they will take care of Arrows Podcast. Solo pod today. NFL Week 1. Football's back. We're back. Took a few weeks off. We're back as football returns. So, full breakdown, what we learned, what we didn't learn. Take a chill pill for all things NFL. But before we throw it to the NFL, I wanted to highlight some stuff happening in other sports where what we're seeing is we are starting to see the start of baseball playoffs. Super exciting. I kept falling asleep on Harry, so I haven't had him on, but the plan is to have him on this weekend. So, but by the time we talk to him, the Red Sox would have been eliminated from playoff contention, and so he's gonna make fun of me for that, but at least he didn't get to do it in real time. And Ohtani, 50 for 50, he's chasing that. Wanted to highlight that because he has been incredible down the stretch for the Dodgers. So, full breakdown Sunday, but highlight that. Ohtani's incredible. Here's the NFL. Football's back, and it was a very typical week 1 in the NFL, and typical in terms of some things happen that get people all riled up, and everybody, people want to change their opinions on things based on one game. And one thing we've learned about week 1s is whatever you do not overreact to, I would say, like 70% of the stuff that you think is going to happen based on that on the first week. And that was another week 1 where that's what took place. And so as we head into the end of week 1, let's recap where we're at. Let's take a look at everything that we have in front of us, and let's understand what means something and what doesn't mean something, because there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be thrown our way over the next few weeks, and I just think we need to take it easy. So we'll start with the Monday night game. 49ers come in favored by Vegas, but not favored by anybody and everybody in the media who is an analyst, an expert of some kind. The Jets were given a lot of credit. The Jets were being hyped up a lot, and the 49ers were kind of being dumped on because they've been here before. Super Bowl hangover, all the drama with Ayuk and Trent, CMC is not playing. Like, can the 49ers really do it again? Are they going to be this good? It's going to be a drop-off. Blah, blah, blah. Aaron Rodgers, first game back. The Jets. And it turned out to be a 49er beatdown in Santa Clara today. So the takeaway is that the Jets might still be really good because their defense was pretty good. They couldn't get anything going against the 49er offensive line, but the defense is pretty good. Aaron Rodgers looked decent in some of the plays he made. And on the other side, the Niners are still the class of the NFC. And so that's where we're at. That's where we're at after this one. But I'm not going to go game by game, but I just kind of want to do an overarching thing of the things we shouldn't overreact to. And maybe the things that we are solidified, the things that are still unknown. And because that's what's important. That's what we need to do. And so from that standpoint, we'll go game by game. Just what is real, what is not. And we'll play my very own version of that. But we'll start Thursday. Chiefs, Ravens. What's real? The Chiefs are real. The Chiefs are 2-time Super Bowl champion. The Chiefs have the best quarterback in football. And by, I think, default, the best coach in football. And because of that, the Chiefs got better in the offensive line and better at receiver. The Chiefs got better in the offseason. The Chiefs are the real deal. The other side, Ravens. Lamar Jackson looked smaller. On the broadcast, they were saying he was faster. And I don't know if that's a good thing for him to be smaller and faster because he runs a lot already and he takes a lot of hits and he's been injured the last few weeks. So I don't know if that's the route you want to go when you are a running quarterback where you get smaller. I don't know if that's the right route. But Baltimore, I don't know. I left that game feeling not so great about Baltimore. But by the end of week 1, I was like, you know what? It's going to be fine. Because Cincinnati is more... I'm more worried about Cincinnati after week 1. And not because of the Pats and not necessarily because the Pats are going to go on this run. And I know Cincinnati has been a slow starter. But Cincinnati just didn't have the same explosiveness to them that they've had over the last few years. And I know Higgins didn't play and Burrow's still, making his way back from the weird hand injury he had. But all of a sudden, that AFC North doesn't seem as tough as what we thought. Deshaun Watson still seems to be a complete mess in Cleveland. And the Steelers won a very unimpressive game on offense versus the Falcons. I know the defense was good, but to rely on TJ Watt, who hasn't been able to stay healthy over the last few years, to me is fool's gold. And to me, the biggest winner of the AFC North after week 1 was the Ravens, because the Ravens stood tall against the Chiefs, and Lamar missed 3 big passes that he had guys open and he just couldn't complete them. And you would figure over the course of the year he'll get that straight out. So there's that. Packers Eagles. What we learned is that the Eagles have a really great roster, and when you have good players, you are going to give yourself a good chance of winning, even though there may be weird stuff happening with your roster, and even though your quarterback may seem to be coming out as a huge diva, it might still be fine. Even though your coach may be a jackass, you probably are going to have a chance to win a lot of games if your roster is really good. And that's what the takeaway from the Eagles-Packer game. Now the Packers, who will start Malik Willis on Sunday with Jordan Love down. They didn't want to put him on the IR, so I don't know if that means that if Jordan Love, if he's going to try to tough it out, maybe he plays week 3. But the Packers, who came in with a lot of hype, all of a sudden find themselves 0-1. They play Sunday versus the Colts at home in a game that you would figure they're gonna want to win that one, because you go down 0-2 and all of a sudden the road becomes a little tougher to make the playoffs, which is too early, I know, but 0-2, the track record of 0-2 teams making the playoffs is not that high. So I just want to put that out there. The Panthers suck. We know that. We knew that coming in. We know that after week 1. And the Saints played the Panthers, who suck. So we know nothing about the Saints. That's the reality of it. The Vikings and the Giants both suck. The Giants just suck a little more. And that's the reality of that game. And Brian Daboll might not be the coach we thought he was after his first season in New York. The Patriots played with a lot of heart. They're going to have a really good defense, and it's going to be kind of like last year. Really, really good defense, not good enough on offense to win a lot of football games. But against an anemic Bengals team, they were better on Sunday. Everybody was happy for Gerard Mayo, and the Pats take care of the Bengals. Steelers-Falcons, we learned that the Steelers have a really good defense, and when TJ Watt plays, he is arguably the best defensive player in all of football, arguably. And the Falcons might still suck, and Kirk Cousins, he might just have found a cliff. Maybe. Texans-Colts, Anthony Richardson is probably the most exciting, the most dynamic, the most explosive football player in the NFL right now. And the Texans have a lot of weapons. And the Texans are really well coached. And so are the Colts. And in a game where Joe Mixon was used correctly and he looked really good, everything about this Colts team is fun. It's not sustainable, but it's fun. And the Texans are a professional football team who look like a professional football team with a really good coach, with a really good quarterback, and they take care of business. We learned in the Cardinals-Bills game that the Bills have the second best quarterback. Now, we didn't really learn that. We knew that. But Josh Allen has hit the level where if he's on the roster, if he's healthy, if he's good, then pencil in the Bills for like 9 games. Because without Josh Allen, they had no business winning that game. The Cardinals were every bit as good on offense as the Bills. Defensively, they were atrocious. And that's where we might have this Cardinals team might be in a lot of fun games this season where they allow a bunch of points, but they score a bunch of points, and they might just be in random shootouts throughout the year. So pencil those guys in for you're watching Red Zone. It's like, well, we're going back to Arizona where the Arizona Cardinals, 45 points, and they're playing the Rams and 45-42 in the fourth quarter. You might get a lot of that because the Cardinals are an explosive team offensively and atrocious defensively. The Bills, though, have found in Keon Coleman a good weapon for Josh Allen. Xavier Worthy should have still been the guy they picked. They shouldn't have traded him to the Chiefs. I think that was a mistake. but Keon Coleman looked good in this first game and for the Buffalo Bills. Bears Titans, we didn't learn much. We learned, because Will Levis is a psychopath who threw one of the worst shovel passes ever. Caleb Williams was awful. And the Bears defense was good. But Will Levis was also really bad. We learned nothing in this game. Nothing. Jaguars, Dolphins. Etienne fumbles at the end of that drive, and Bigsby was the big revelation for the Jaguars, and it was a game that I feel like Jacksonville needed more than Miami, because if Jacksonville wins, then it becomes a momentum starter. But Miami pulled it out. Seattle and Denver. Another game. I don't think we learned anything, because Seattle played a Denver team that had no offensive line help. Neither did the Seahawks. Bo Nix didn't look all that great, but yet they only lost by 6. Everything being blown up of Seattle's butt. I think to me, I was like, okay, game 1, I know, but Geno still looked like Geno, and that offensive line is atrocious for the Seahawks. Chargers, one of the few teams that I think just confirmation. Jim Harbaugh, really great football coach. Dudes love playing for him, and we saw that in that game. Can anyone tell me where Devontae Adams is at? Sending out a search party for him. Cowboys-Browns. Cowboys look great defensively. Watson looked awful. Could be the offensive line. Could just mean he's washed. The Commanders have a terrible defense, and Baker made them pay. Did we learn anything? I don't know. I don't think so. Lions-Rams. Rams defense is really good. Ran out of gas. Goff, not that impressive. What happened to the Lions offense? With all those weapons, Amon St. Brown, Laporta. It just was a very anemic offense for the weapons that they have. And that's week 1. Now, as we head into week 2 and we approach what's ahead, we get Bills Dolphins, which becomes a gigantic game for that division. And that becomes, I think, the best game of the week by far. And so we'll look forward to that. And what we'll do throughout the season is I'll do recaps of the primetime games and breakdowns and whatever. Nothing long, something short, just to get us rolling. But that's where we're at. That's the game of the week for next week. So at the end of week 1, we didn't learn much. Don't exaggerate anything. Don't get overhyped up or everything. Keep calm. Keep your feet on the ground. It's only week 1. We'll talk more football throughout the week, throughout the season. I'll talk to you later. But before I go, my final thought. I got a final thought. Final thought. September 9th. Baseball is ramping up. And my final thought is that what Tani's doing in baseball has to be one of the most impressive feats I've ever seen. I think 50-50 is more impressive than 70 home runs. And I just think it is incredible what he's doing. And I can't wait to watch it in the playoffs. Otani, the real unicorn. That's my final. I'll talk to you later for the Overreaction podcast. This is German. Until next time. The Overreaction podcast was brought to you by Triumph Protective Coatings. You can find Triumph Protective Coatings on Instagram, Triumph_coatings. You can call them or text them 626-436-4702. They offer awesome customer service and they do amazing work. So reach out to them for your next project, and if you use promo code ARROWSUP, you get 15% off your next order. So reach out to them. They'll take care of you. That was the pod. Thank you to Angel. Thank you to Triumph. We'll talk to you again on Wednesday, as we do Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, now that the pod is, now that we're back in football time. So we'll talk to you then. Thank you for listening. Arrows Up Podcast. Check us out on Instagram, at Arrows Up, YouTube, at Arrows Up, YouTube channel. And I will talk to you again next time, where we talk to David. Canelo Week is this week, so fun time for the pod, Canelo fans and everything. So I'll talk to you then. Enjoy week 2 of the NFL playoffs. Enjoy the rest of the MLB season, whatever's left. Mexico plays tomorrow. Enjoy that. I'll talk to you later. It was a podcast. Let's go Sox. Hala Madrid. Glory, glory, Man United. And bang, bang, Niner gang.